shows you that it was taken at 85 millimeters on that particular lens. Uh, and here you can see the information about the actual picture. It was taken at ISO 200 at 85 millimeters and an f setting of 16 and a shutter speed of 125th of a second. And then when it was like imported, it had a default color setting for flash. I did a color correction on it. Do I actually have the? Because I use a gray card. Let's see. Do I have any of those? Do I have any gray card? Know where I got it from. Let's see if I can find a gray. Gray card for this particular. Oh, actually, I do have a gray card for this. I have to temporarily switch to a different screen while I look for it. Okay, let's see, where's my color correction? I know what I can do. I just realized something. I have a feature. There's a feature in this program that you can just tag your photos that you wanna work with. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find the pictures that I'm working with and add them into the favorites. Okay, there. It's probably in the first group of pictures that I took. Okay, quick. Whoa. Got way too many quick photos in here. Okay, okay, that's ready now. So basically, with okay, this is what I used. I mean, I don't remember when I started using a multicolor uh, color checker passport. I think it's called. Uh, I'll discuss it in another stream unless I can find a picture of it. Basically, this is a gray card, or it's actually a I can't remember what they call this thing. A three-tone card. Okay, that's what they call it. Three-tone card. It has a white square, 18% gray, and a black square. So basically, what you do is you pull that into your photo editing program, and then you go into the development module, and all you basically need to do is I'm going to go back to the original imported mode. You'll see that it's when it's in the imported state, it's not a bad picture, but it's not color corrected. So what you need to do is, in the development module, you got to use the under the basic subsection, you got to use your white balance selector, and then basically all you need to do is go in with the eyedropper into the find a nice spot on the gray section, and then when you click on it, you can see instantaneously that it corrects the picture to match the balance. That makes the color look good in this particular picture. I'm gonna just highlight this with purple so it's the same as my picture, and then that's the TIFF. Okay, that's the virtual copy. Okay, this is the original picture. So what you got to do is from the picture, like of the color balance, the correct color balance, you have to copy the color balance over. So you need to I always forget which one it is here. Settings. Copy settings, and you're basically just copying, in this case you're just basically copying the white balance. We don't need to do lens correction, so we're just taking the white balance and then say copy, and then we switch to the picture, which is this one here. It's basically gonna do this when we paste it. But what I'm gonna do is I don't want to lose my settings, so I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna just paste the settings. Paste settings from. Okay, so I'm just going to check quickly if that. Can I actually. Okay, the import, so it's the color temp is 5,000 and it's minus 12. I mean, it varying by 100 doesn't really do much. damage to the color, because like I mean it depends on where you clicked. Oh, it's Brad Jones. Oh, it's I used to go to a photo studio it's I mean I live in Toronto, so at the I think at the time can't remember where I was actually living at the time, but uh, there was a photo studio downtown Toronto that would basically they would hire models to come to a Photoshop photo shoot, uh, and then a bunch of photographers would show up, and then the models would be there, and then we would take pictures of the models. Uh, Personal information about her. I mean, I'm not sure if I can even say her name. I'm not. I mean, I have full full rights to the photo, but not necessarily to be able to, because I've never actually streamed this kind of content before. So I'm not gonna use names unless I use a model that I know is using social media, because I have some models that are on social media, and whatever name they use on their own social media, that's I mean I can use those names, but this model was very very secure about her information. I don't even think she had. I think the only thing I ever got from her was an email address. Because I mean, most of these models are like beginning models. They're beginner models for these particular type of workshops that we were at. So basically, what you do is you paste the 18% color balance. Okay, so then it changes from this to this. Okay, and then what I do, like you'll notice that the picture, the model is at an angle. Well, actually, the model is not at an angle. I'm holding the camera at the angle, so her head goes into the corner. Because I wasn't sure how close to the corner I wanted her, I left a lot of extra space, because you could just do the cropping. You could do the cropping in Photoshop. You can see here, I tweaked the cropping to bring her head into the corner. Where's the actual? I think this is the. I'm going to show you the final product that I after all my edits. Way back then I did quick edits. I didn't do sophisticated editing. Like basically it was just a color balance and cropping, and like arranging the picture. There might have been some sharpening. I'm not sure. I don't remember what I did for this photo. I don't even know if I have the. Actually, I do have the PSD file. I guess I could open it in Photoshop and see what edits I did to it if they're in there. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna pull this. I'm gonna open this up in Photoshop. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna show and explore, and then I'm going to open that in Photoshop. I'm just going to drag it into Photoshop. Okay, this actually doesn't have anything saved. So I'm not sure what I did to this photo. So I'm just gonna do it all over again. So basically, we go back to the original photo. we paste the color balance or the white balance to it. Then I'm gonna do something that I'm not sure if I did way back then. I like to enable the lens correction. The Lightroom automatically finds on raw files, finds the camera, the lens, and basically it has the profile for my particular lens because it's a Nikon lens. Then different versions of Lightroom have a color process. There's subtle differences between the different okay, this is not. I'm messing up my. Okay, where's the? Is there a? Where's the undo? Control Z. Control Z. I always forget that Lightroom, when you tweak settings, it changes everything, and it deletes the old one. So basically, sorry about this. This is the very first time I'm doing this, so I should have actually picked the picture that I didn't. I should actually work on a picture that I didn't edit. So then it doesn't. So then it doesn't mess up. I could work with. Work with a different photo. Virtual copy. Is this this is the virtual copy? After I pasted the color balance to it. Oh, JPEG. I don't want the JPEG in here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to. Okay, this already contains the color balance. So what I'm going to do is set the camera profile, camera lens profile, and then I'm going to change to the process for this particular version of Lightroom, which is the highest process version. And then I don't have. Actually, you know what? I do have a 6. I have a profile for my lens, which does a slight tweak of the color as well. Let's see what else. Is there anything else? It's a 200 millimeter lens. Because I have created, I mean, earlier at some point I created profiles for my lens. Actually, this how much difference does it make here? I'm not going to use that profile because that's not an exact profile. I'm going to pick. Adobe has like different different profiles available, like that you can download from their website, that give you different looks to the picture. But we'll just use the default one for Adobe Camera Raw. We'll use that one because that one's it's pretty close to what the camera does anyway with that particular lens. And then what we need to do is we need to crop the picture. So we do the crop, and then basically I'm going to try to create the crop. Just a sec. I just want to see. I don't remember exactly how I cropped her into the corner. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to blue colors, or no, I'm going to make it red. I'm going to tag it in red, and that's the edit. Okay, this one. Oh, that's a TIFF file, that's why. That one's a PSD file. This was. So I'm going to highlight this one in yellow. Okay, so basically that. Okay, are they close to the same now? They're actually close to the same now. They're pretty close. So I'm going to continue with the picture now that it's cropped. That's basically what I do. Use Lightroom for is I do the color balance of the picture to make sure that it's exactly how the picture supposed to be, white balance wise. I'm just going to double check what I did. Okay, what did I do? Well, then I tweaked the exposure a bit on. I gave it a half a stop more exposure. So I mean I could do it here as well, but I mean it's yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tweak it a little bit. So basically you can adjust the exposure. Shoot. You can actually type in a number. So I'm going to just do 0.5. So it's a little bit brighter. Detail. Get the sharpening. Okay, so basically that's what I do. I just do the quick edit like this in Lightroom, and then what I do is I move it into Photoshop for the actual nitty-gritty work. And I always use Lightroom's parameters for rendering the photo. So then let me switch to my Photoshop screen. Turn off the Lightroom. Okay, so it's now okay. That's in Photoshop now. Okay, so basically in Photoshop, what I do is, if there's any editing that I want to do at the pixel level, like getting rid of like crease lines in the face, you can do that. You can you know, edit the lips, you know, edit the eyes. But what I usually do is I usually don't do much editing in Photoshop. I mean, you can take, you know, get rid of like stray hairs and whatnot. But what I use is I use a plugin. It's from Imagionic. It's Portrait. Let's see. Wonder if it's going to open up in. Wonder if it actually shows up in the stream. No, I have to add that as well. I have to add portrait. I have to add that window capture. Okay, cool. It's actually there now. Okay, so that is okay. This is the program that does the editing of the okay, I just want to make sure. Oh, okay, it's going to hide that. Okay, so basically there's different parameters for this. This has presets. Like quite often the default profile preset is usually the best. And what I usually do is I go to like 50% or more. Actually, this okay, because of the screen size right now. Okay, when you put the mouse on top of the picture and you click, it shows you what the original looks like. And then when you release it, it shows you the enhanced version. And you can see that it's I mean, it cleans up the face basically, and doesn't do much with the hair. And then you can, in Photoshop, I'll show you how to isolate the different components to make the, you know, like different parts of the face don't need as much enhancement as like the skin does. So basically, looks like for this particular picture, looks like the default is probably good. I always like to go like super aggressive just to show the difference. Okay, this one is the highest smoothing. And then you gotta enable use mask, enhance on mask only. The before and after pictures, actually you can go split screen. I don't know how that's gonna look on here though. Okay, if I increase the size of the window, how does it look like in? Okay, there it is. Okay. Okay, so basically you can see the before and after here. and that's using the smooth. And then you can do another one that sometimes works really well is the enhanced tones. But it sometimes goes too aggressive for my taste. And let's see. Then they have a glamour profile, which makes a really funky looking picture out of it. And then of course you can manually tweak all the parameters if you like. But like I said, default is probably the best for this particular. Okay, now I have to go to default. Default seems to be the best one for this particular face. I can't remember what this does. Okay, use mask. Okay, let's go to 100% and see what kind of how much it changes the face. Okay, I like that. Okay, so then you click OK, and what it does is it creates a mask. This is my very first creative. I've been planning this for a long time, so I'm not really geared up for creative, like as far as the layout of my hardware right now. My screen that I see your chat on is on the floor beside me, and my main screen is in front of me. I have a webcam as well, but the webcam, I guess I could point the webcam at me, but I don't have my positioning. I'd have to reposition everything in my room to do a setup for creative. So basically what happens now is there's an overlay, basically an overlay that came on top. So oh, you know what? It didn't. Oh, shoot. I did it wrong. Crap, I did it wrong. I have to delete this. Shoot. I did it wrong. It brought the whole picture. I didn't want to do it that way. Shoot. It actually brought the whole thing. It didn't bring an overlay. It brought the whole picture. I gotta do this all over again. But now it's got the default create transparency mask. That's what I wanted to do. You have to use create transparency mask and output it as a new layer. Use mask, and then the default settings. Okay, then click OK. Yeah, now that's more like it. So if we go to 50% on the picture, see basically what it does is it creates a mask for the areas that need enhancement. Let's see. Okay, there it is on the screen. You see now that it the cool thing about this program add-on is that it automatically picks picks the eyes, hardness, soft. soft round. And what you do then is you unselect your original photo, and what you got to do is you have to certain parts of the face need to be completely like the enhancement has to be completely taken off them, like the eyes and the lips. So basically what I do is I go to 100% or greater. See, it's already, I mean, it's like the eyes are almost already taken out, as you can see the checkerboard pattern. But what I do is I take out all the enhancement to the eyes, so there's no that plugin doesn't enhance the eyes at all. So basically the eyes look exactly like they did in the original picture. Okay, that I have to be careful. Okay, and then the also the nostrils. Okay, I'm just gonna. The nostrils also need to be unenhanced. Let's see, is that even I don't even know if that's a nostril. And that definitely the lips. The lips are also completely unenhanced by the software. So what you do is you basically trace the lips. Trace the lips to remove the software enhancement on it. And this is only happening on the layer, the enhancement layer. And then also the hair. The program's already pretty much taken all the hair out, so the hair is not being enhanced. So the hair stays. See, you can see. Okay, this is the without the enhancement, because there's a stream delay. I'm just gonna. Okay, so there is the unenhanced picture, and then when I enable the layer, I'm labeling it enhance layer. And then what I usually do as well is okay, this picture photo has been sharpened, but what I usually do is I create a duplicate layer, sharpen, and then what you do is you on the layer you have to create it's a high pass filter on it. I usually go, I mean the radius is usually around 2 or 5. Actually, you know what, I could probably try 5. I could try 5. What is it? Is this okay? Yeah. 5. and then you have to no, not that. You have to set it as an overlay. So basically now it changes the it sharpens the picture. You can see, okay, the easiest spot to look at is the eyes. So basically now the eyes are sharpened, and now they're not sharpened as I click the sharpened layer. And also the lips become sharper. And then what you can actually do is you can move the layer, the sharpened layer, above the enhanced layer. Whoa, that changes everything though. That's not right. I don't like that. It has to be below. It has to be below the enhanced layer, because the enhanced layer, because you don't want to sharpen the skin, because basically you wanted to smooth the skin in the first place. So basically what it's doing is if we remove the enhance, you can see how it sharpens the image. And then what you can do is you can do a blend. You can tweak the blend to like 50%. I usually go to like 50% as a starting point, and then that way it's further reduced the sharpening, so it's 50% less sharpening. And then you put the enhancement layer on top, and you'll see because the enhancement layer is not doing anything to the eyes or the lips, that means that the sharpening is affected 100% of 100%, like whatever setting it has. And then what I usually do with the sharpen layer is I can't do it that way. What I usually do with the sharpen layer is, if you don't want the lips to be sharpened, what I usually do is let's see, how can I do this? Can't remember how to set it so it shows up in gray. Shows up as gray. I think if I go to here, I know what I can do. If I take it back to normal, you'll see that it's gray. What you can do is you can erase the sharpening effect on the lips. You don't necessarily want to sharpen the lips. So basically I'm removing the sharpening effect on the lips. And then you can actually see the little, you might not be able to see it, but it shows up on the little thumbnail. Because that is the sharpening layer only. You can see that the lips are totally removed from the sharpening effect. And then we have to change it back to overlay. And then you can, if I toggle the sharpen layer now, it doesn't. There's no change to the lips. The lips stay the same, so they don't get sharpened at all. So then we can look at the full picture. So there is they're basically the finished product. I mean, you can do all this in Photoshop directly, but with the plugin, it speeds up the process significantly. And then back to 100%, we can look at the and then the hair. I always like to have the hair sharp, so it's like what I sometimes do is I remove all the enhancement. I erase all of the, so it doesn't do any smoothing of the hair. You basically just erase all this enhancement for the hair. You can go larger. You can go to a larger brush, and I sometimes put I do it like this so I can actually see the hair. And then I just brush all the hair with the eraser, and then you can just double check to make sure that it's erasing. Just check to make sure that it's all the hair is removed. I mean, this is an optional step that I sometimes take. I mean, if I'm doing a lot of pictures, I won't. I'll let the program do all the work, because the objective here is to speed up the editing. So you don't spend all day editing pictures. I usually do these in about 5 minutes. Depends on how much time I want to spend on a picture. And then you can see that the hair is significantly sharper, and then we can tweak the opacity back up to 100%. So if we want to have the full effect of the sharpening, that's why I sometimes pick a sharpen layer at around instead of 5%, I pick 10%, because you can tweak the amount of sharpening by changing the opacity. But you can't. Once this layer is created, you can't change the original setting that you get from the filter, from the high pass filter. You can't go back change that. At least I don't know. Maybe you can change it, but I don't. I've never figured out a way to do it. So what I usually do is I just set a higher value in the high pass filter, and then I just tweak the opacity to compensate for that. And then I just check to see if it's too much sharpening. Okay, that's not too much sharpening at all. So basically then, okay, how did I do this? Okay, I pulled it in. What picked is this? Okay, is this in? Wonder if Lightroom has this. Oh no, I think it created a new image here. Yeah, it created a new image. Okay. So what I can do now is I can go. Actually, shoot, I shouldn't have minimized that. I'll just. And then shrink the picture. Sometimes what I do as well is I look at the layer, the enhancement layer, to see how much see how much it's affecting the close, because usually the close you don't want the close to be enhanced. Sharpened, yes, but enhanced, no. So what I sometimes do is I also erase the close, but in this case it doesn't really there's probably not going to be a noticeable effect on it because the software has already done most of the work. So then what we do is okay, why is it it's making a TIFF file? And then I just, if I close this, okay, save it. Image compression, zip. I can't remember what settings I used. Was this one? Is this the one I used? Zip compression not supported in older TIFF readers. Use zip. No, I'm going to use LZW. Actually, you know what I can do? I think maybe if I do save. Okay, I'm just using save, so it'll use whatever parameters. I don't have to tweak the parameters myself. It uses whatever parameters are there. Okay, it's saving. Okay, it's done. And then I just close that, and then go back into Lightroom. Turn Lightroom back on. And then we have the photo in Lightroom now. And then what we can do is we can copy one. Okay, where was the original? I think this was. Which one was the original? Okay, virtual copy. I think this red, yeah, this red one. Red one was the original picture, and then edit 2 is the I'm just gonna double. I think that's the one, because this one doesn't have any. Oh yeah, the crop. Oh yeah, what I did was I didn't completely crop this particular uh, picture. So what I'm going to do, go back into the development module, and then go back into now because it's a TIFF file. It works differently in Lightroom. Uh, the crop. Okay, did I actually did I crop it maintaining the aspect? I can't remember how I cropped the original picture. Did I crop it like that? Okay, so that's TIFF 2. Yeah, so it's rough. I mean, it's roughly the same. I mean, it's as close as I need. Okay, this picture was not edited in, most likely was not edited in Photoshop. I probably wasn't using the Photoshop plugin, the portrait enhancement software. Because if we look at the picture, there's a big difference. Like this one is the one that I did just now, and then this was the one I did a long time ago. Like I'm not sure when I actually made the edits for this particular. Whoa! What the heck? What just happened? Why did it do that? Okay, so that basically. Let's see. I don't know how many people I have on the channel here watching. Okay, we got more people. Okay, so the recap what I did was the original picture was imported into Lightroom, which is basically just a cataloging program that allows you to find your pictures and sort your pictures in like in a format that makes it easy to find pictures. So this is the original picture. The order that you do the adjustments, it doesn't really matter. You enable the lens profile, then you do the camera calibration. You can use a profile, like a custom profile, if you have one created. I don't have one created, at least not. I don't think I have one created. I might have one created, but I'm not 100%. It's not listed here. So There's not one listed here, so I don't have one. Could I actually create? Do I have the? Yeah, I have the color checker passport. There's a company called X-Rite that created a color checker passport, which is basically a 24. I think there's 24 colors on it. I'll have to find a picture of one of those things to show on my next stream. I'll be more prepared the next time I stream. And then basically you crop the picture. In this case, it's just basically a user. I mean, creative decision to put it into the corner like that, and then tweak the exposure if you want to tweak the exposure. Usually the exposure doesn't need to be tweaked if you took the picture correctly in the first place. But because I'm not in my own studio when I took this picture, I don't always have enough time to tweak, get everything 100%. So then I just tweak it. Considering that I only had to tweak the exposure by a half a stop, I consider that pretty good. So then what we can do, okay, this particular picture was taken on this kind of background. So basically this is okay, it's the red one. And then what we can do is we can find another picture. We can look for other pictures, or these are JPEGs. These are all JPEGs. Shoot. I can't work with JPEGs properly. So I'm going to have to undo. Because I work with raw files, JPEGs. I take JPEGs just as as backup pictures. Okay, that is. Okay, why is that's edit. This is a PSD. This is my original PSD file, and that's the other PSD file. Why is this thing doing TIFFs now? Preference. External editing. Oh yeah, I told it to do TIFFs. That's why I'm gonna have to switch back. I'm gonna have to switch to resolution. I'm gonna set the resolution to 300. Edit in Photoshop. PSD. (16-bit). I don't remember why I had it set to TIFF, or maybe it's TIFF by default. I'm not sure, and I may have never tweaked it. Because it's a brand new installation of Windows. Well, not brand new, but I mean it's significantly newer. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find Okay, I'm gonna find another picture if people are interested in this or not. I'm gonna go find some more pictures. Mm. Okay, so that picture. I'm gonna see if I can find some other pictures. That I can actually use. Okay, this full folder I can use. I can use that whole folder. Can I use this? I can't use these pictures. Five, 7, 3. I'm just going to add a couple of these pictures. Okay, let's go to click. Okay, so basically, okay, so now I'm ready to go again here. Photoshop. Okay, or no, not Photoshop. Lightroom. Okay, so basically this okay, I'm going to show you how the I don't remember exactly 100% where if there was I think there was a third light, but basically the setup for the photo shoot is basically this. The two strip lights in the back, and there's a fan to blow her hair, and they're let's see, is there, okay, what is the settings for this picture? This is okay, so there's no ambient light in this picture. Okay, there's a round, so yeah, we have a light light for the face as well. This okay, I took this picture with my camera. Okay, does it say? Yeah. Okay, so I took it with the Nikon. Control Z, Control Z. Oh yeah, the white balance paste. I just took this picture just to show you how the actual studio was configured. And then here are some of the pictures that we took. These are unedited. The only thing that's been tweaked is the color balance. And then there's like different poses, trying to get her to do, hold her hair. Probably this first one is probably the best one. It's hard to describe to the model how to do it. Then she's smiling there. So I mean, this was probably just a test shot. The first picture is usually a test shot. I can't remember if this was the first shot or not. So basically we can like look at the picture again here, and you'll see that it doesn't have any enhancements done by the enhancing software. So then what we can do is we can go back into Photoshop, render using Lightroom, and then bring up the Photoshop layer, and then if you want, I mean, what I usually do is if there's any flaws that you want to get rid of on the face before you bring it in, it's always best to take care of the flaws first. So what you can do is, what I usually do is, if I want to tweak the face, I use I think I use the spot healing brush. What I usually do is then you can just get rid of minor imperfections by just clicking on them. I'm working on her forehead right now. Can you actually see the... And what I sometimes do is, if they have freckles or whatever, you can get rid of those as well. If you want to go like super, you know, if you want to do a lot of editing, you can tweak get rid of as many skin imperfections as you want. The plugin takes care of a lot of it as well, so you don't really need to do this. But sometimes I like to do it. And then you can get rid of, like, if you wanted to get rid of like a hair. I usually don't bother with the little, like, the single strands of hair. I mean, if you really needed to, you could get rid of them, but I usually don't bother. I find it to be just too much work. Normally what you can do is, if you do this in your own studio, you can just basically preview every picture as you take them, and then just have if you have a hairstylist, or just have the model brush or comb her hair to get rid of all the strands. And then what you do is you bring it into the portrait program. Okay, and it should already be. Is my microphone's still working, right? Yeah. Okay, so now it's in the plugin. What I usually do is I go to 100%. So you can see how oh shit, my microphone's too close. You can see okay, I'm just gonna go like this. I'm just gonna put the full face on there and then toggle it back and forth. You can see how it enhances the face. And it remembers the parameters from the last time we were in here, so you don't have to You don't have to keep retweaking the settings. In this case, we can go aggressive. It doesn't change. It's a little bit more. Like high, and then we could even see what like this, like glamour setting now goes, like, does a major change. I usually don't like using this one because then it's less natural looking, unless this is what you're going for. I mean, if you're going for this kind of a look, if you want this kind of look, then yeah, you can use that. And what I normally do is I normally go back to I undo all the settings, and then I go to back to the default. And then tone, sometimes I use the tones default, which makes a certain look. High key, because this is not a high key photo, it doesn't really work well. And it's not low key, it goes funky. So let's go back to the default. And in this case, I think I'm gonna go. I want to go medium. I want to go medium this time. So a little bit more enhancement, and then you can actually see the. See the mask, how it's masking how it creates the mask. Okay, the screen is not. It's not showing. I mean, I've got it a little bit expanded too much. It's not showing the whole screen on the right hand side. If I tweak it? Okay, will it? Okay, there. I'm just gonna go back to my OBS. Okay, so I think that's close to 100% in OBS. And then once you're happy with the enhancement layer, then you can bring it back into Photoshop, and you can relabel it. And then we want to do a sharpen layer, duplicate layer, call it sharpen, and then you create a high pass. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 10%, or like I'm going to go to 10. Okay, why is my numlock not working? Where's my numlock? Where's numlock? Oh, there's my numlock. Numlock was off. 10. So I go to a radius of 10. Actually, you know what? maybe I'm just gonna stick with 5. I'm just gonna stick with 5. And then, yeah, this is how I did it. This is how I would erase the eyes. Go to 100%, and then go a little bit higher. Then you can just erase the eyes, or like erase the sharp. Actually, no. I'm doing this wrong. Shoot. I didn't want to do that. High pass. It's on this layer that you remove it. It's on the top layer that you remove it. Then you can see that it turns gray. And the reason I do that is it makes it easier to see where you're actually applying the brush. Because basically this has to be set to the blend mode has to be overlay, and then you can see the enhancement on the eyes when you apply the sharpen mask. And then you can go back to normal, and then you can erase the lips, erase the enhancement on the lips. And then even though the nostrils aren't there, I always like to do, if there's any amount of nostrils showing, what I do is I remove the enhancement. I'm not using, right now I don't have a mouse, I have a trackball, so. Oh, thanks for dropping by, Mr. Brad Jones. Thank you. So it's okay. Then you can actually do it this way as well, to make sure that you've got the lips done properly. But I usually like to have the image there, so you can actually make sure that you've got the exact. Whoa! What just happened? Oh crap! What happened? Oh shoot! What did I do? What the heck just happened? Wow. I must have clicked on something by mistake. Ouch. Sorry about that. And then the sharpen layer, and then we have to change the sharpen layer back to an overlay. and then basically the picture is done. You can now do a comparison of the unenhanced and unsharpened, because it makes it look really ugly when if you sharpen without the enhancement layer on top. So you can see when I'm toggling it back and forth, you'll see that the lips become normal. Actually, no, the lips have to be also. I have to remove the. I just remembered. I have to remove the sharpen layer on the lips. So I have to unsharpen the lips. I mean, you don't have to do this, but I always do. I find that it looks better without sharpening the lips. Okay, let's see if I switch back to normal. Okay, here you can see the gray areas. So you just erase the gray areas. Okay, what the heck? What am I clicking on? Am I clicking on something by mistake? On one of these buttons? Oh, okay, I'm clicking on one of my buttons by mistake on my mouse. I don't have a proper table. So I can't work as nicely as I used to be able to. Tweak the size a little bit. Why does that look like that? And then we can turn that layer back into a into an overlay. And then we go back to the full image, and then we can just check how the Okay, see the overlay. The overlay was automatically uh, removing the clothes completely. You can see that it completely removed. The hair is almost completely removed, so you don't have to. You don't really have to go in and erase the hair. I mean, sometimes if you have time, you can erase the hair. Depends on how you want the image to look. Uh, in this case, it doesn't. Like, it's not going to make that big of a difference. And now you can see, like, that's the original picture before the enhancement, and then this is with the enhancement, with the enhancement layer. And we can just zoom in on the picture, and then we can zoom in even more so we can see. And then you can just, I'm removing the enhancement and putting the enhancement back on. And then we can just save the image, and it's going to go back into Lightroom. Sorry, yeah, back into Lightroom. So go back into Lightroom. Okay, 503. Which one is 503? Okay, this is. I think that's the original. So we're gonna make it. We'll put it green. Put this one green. 503. 505. 506. So basically, there's the edited version, and there's the original version. This time we didn't do any cropping, so we can crop the final image. We can crop the final image to aspect ratio, so it locks the aspect ratio. In this case, I mean, you can depending on what you're what you're looking, what you're going for. If you want like a landscape image. Landscape looks lousy. I don't like landscape. Okay, in this case, there's probably no need to crop. I mean, crop at all, because I mean the the elbows are at the edge of the portrait. If you crop too much, it makes it look weirder. So in this case, the image was captured the way I wanted to capture it. Oh, I have to put done. And then which one? There, she's smiling. The smile is really nice. Normally for photo shoots, you don't do too much. You don't have them smile. You don't want to show too much teeth. I don't know. Did I tweak? Oh, this one. Oh, this one. The reason this one's bright is, oh, this is actually a photo. This is a PSD file, so it's already been edited in Photoshop. 573. This is the original with the crop, and that's with the auto toning, so it enhances the exposure. The auto doesn't always work that great. It puts too much exposure. Crop. This was how I tweaked the picture a long time ago when I edited it originally. And then there's I'm not much of a portrait photographer, but I always try to do portrait photos every once in a while. Okay, this one's got a crop rectangle. And then we can also work with like full length pictures if we really wanted to. I don't remember why I cropped the top of her head off. That's probably an accident on my part. Because of the backdrop is all messed up like this. You need to do background. I mean, if you want to, you need to do some background editing. To get rid of the, to fix the background. But that's a lot of work. I find that to be a lot of work personally myself. I mean, I don't like working on fixing backgrounds, like creating background. I prefer to make sure the background is tweaked properly, but that's how they had. I don't know why it was like that. Let's see. Where's the? Yeah, you can see that. Okay, from this picture that I'm showing you now, that's how it was set up. It was. I don't know why. Why did they put it like that? It's flat on the ground over on that side, but on the floor, but on the other side it's like elevated by the stand. And here was a completely different setup. It's do I actually have the? Yeah, it was on this particular studio setup. This is called cyclic backdrop. Basically, it's painted white, and it's like curved at the back, and then the light here is used to make the background all basically white. The object is to get it all white. On the floor here we have plexiglass to give like a shine to the picture. This is where the model is. She's actually facing the wall, like the lengthwise wall here on the side, and where I'm using a really large light source. I don't have a picture of the light on here, but I do have a picture of the light somewhere. Okay, it's not there. It's definitely not there, because the light is over like close to where I'm standing. And I didn't have that. And basically, I can't remember how we were doing this thing, how we had it lit up. I probably had my camera set incorrectly. But here what I did was, the model's back is to the light, and I'm standing against the wall, the white wall, and the model is against the white area behind the model is the light source. And the light source is, because it's such a huge light, it bounces off the white backdrop. It ignores me. Like, I'm standing there, like exactly where the model is standing, except like I'm perpendicular with the model. But because the light hits the model first, it doesn't hit me anyway, so it doesn't matter if I'm standing there or not. It doesn't change the amount of light that bounces back to the model's face from the white background. And the cool thing about this is that the white, if you see, like I'm like this is the histogram, and you can look at the exposure, and I'm looking at the white here, and it's RGB, is everything is at 100%. Everything is 100%. Everywhere the light, it's 100%. So basically that's as pure a white as you can get. You can't get any whiter than that. That's 100% white. And this is again, originally it was like that, because the exposure, because basically we weren't measuring the light. The light was not measured to be taken this way. I like taking pictures that way, so I had to because there's not enough time in these photo shoots, because I only have a short window of about 6 minutes or 5 minutes that I can use to take pictures of the model, and then it's somebody else's turn. There isn't enough time to, adjust the light and everything like that. So basically what I do is I just take the picture, and then I just because I know it's going to be close, then I just tweak it in Photoshop. I mean, basically I'm adding one f-stop. I mean, yeah, one f-stop is a lot, but considering the type of photo shoot it is, I don't consider it that bad of a compromise. Okay, and then we can. Okay, I'm gonna do one more picture. Actually, how long is this stream been going? It's a 2 hour stream. Hey. A rectangle. Yeah, I'm gonna do the cropping later. Lens correction, and then the process correction. In this case, I don't know how much what does that change it by. That's not gonna be good. I mean, I can't use that parameter because that's for my own flash. It's not the strobe over there. Okay, so basically this is now tweaked. It's got the. Then we just bring this into Photoshop. And now the picture is in Photoshop, and then we can make some. It's probably a makeup glitch or something. I don't know what that is. So I'm just gonna clean that up. And since I'm here, I might as well get rid of the slight skin imperfections. Then I might as well get rid of that hair strand. What I usually do is one side. Like, I mean, if I am working on the at the pixel level, I usually do an extra touches on the photo. Since I'm working on it, I always just go a little bit extra. You can work on like if you really really serious and you need to you can go in and let's see what happened here. Oh yeah, you can go in and like remove stray hairs. And then like there's a whole like I find that it takes. I mean, I'm not that I'm not that speedy. I mean, you can get rid of like this hair here if you really wanted to. Let's see, where's my? I can put a pointer on. So you can get rid of this hair if you really wanted to, but it gets tweaked by the plugin. And then this here, these creases, these uh, I mean, I guess these are laugh lines. I guess that's what they're called officially. They or whatever they get the plugin fixes most of those, or like it smooths them out so you don't see them as much. So what we then do is after this, okay, then we go in and okay, why is it? Oh no, it doesn't work from here. What is? Could not use the move tool because the layer is locked. Oh, that's the move tool. Oh, okay, cool. I didn't want to use that anyway. Okay, I'm going to just go to the eraser tool. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go into the portrait enhancing, and what we're going to do is we're going to go a little bit overboard here. We're going to make this picture completely different looking. We're going to go. I find if you go tones, it super enhances it. Alright, I'm going to just check how does glamour makes it too dark in my opinion. So I mean, I guess you could. Okay, so I'm going to go enhance tones. I'm going to use the enhanced tones filter this time, and then you can see how much it changes the picture. Look at and then bring it back into Photoshop and shrink the size a little bit. And then we can look at the okay, so the program's already created a mask for us. So pretty much all the work has been done. I mean, if we really wanted to, we could go in and remove the eyes completely. And then I want to have the actual. Sometimes what I do is I also do the lashes, but not always. It depends on what kind of a look I'm going for. And then I do the lips. And then the nostrils.